Have you ever wondered why the same engines sold in the United States are forced to run on thin, almost watery oil, while the rest of the world is told to use something thicker, stronger, and more protective? It sounds strange, but once you dive into the truth, it becomes clear that this wasn't an accident, and it definitely wasn't done for your benefit. In fact, what you're about to hear may completely change the way you look at oil, maintenance, and the long-term health of your engine. Because, despite what manufacturers want you to believe, their recommendations aren't always about engineering. Sometimes they're about survival, but not your engine's survival, theirs. And by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly how thin oils like 0-20 became the default in the US, why other countries refuse to follow along, and the hidden risks that nobody at the dealership will warn you about. Let's begin with the foundation, what the oil numbers really mean, and why something as simple as 20 or 30 can determine whether your engine lasts 300,000 miles or fails long before it should. People glance at an oil bottle and see a few numbers and a letter. Most drivers don't know that those numbers reveal the entire personality of the oil. The 0W or 5W tells you how that oil behaves on a freezing morning. When your engine is cold, the metal is tightened up and the oil is thick like honey. The lower the number, the easier the oil flows in cold weather. 0W means it can handle extreme cold and still move quickly enough to protect the engine during startup. 5W is slightly thicker. 10W is thicker still, but it's the second number that decides your engine's fate. 20, 30, 40. This is where the real protection lives. That second number tells you how thick the oil stays at 212 degrees Fahrenheit, the normal temperature inside a running engine. A 30-weight oil holds onto a thicker protective film than a 20-weight oil. It stands up to more heat, more pressure, and more stress. And then there's the hidden number that almost nobody talks about, HTHS, or high temperature, high shear viscosity. This is how the oil behaves when it hits the absolute hottest, highest pressure zones inside the engine, where metal is moving at high speed and tolerances shrink to microscopic levels. HS determines whether the oil keeps lubricating or collapses under the strain. And here's the part that should make you pause. You can't find HS on most bottles, and many manuals don't list it. That alone should make you wonder what else isn't being explained. And that question leads directly into the next section, where the contradictions begin. If oil recommendations were truly based on pure engineering, then a Honda engine sold in Arizona should use the same oil as that same engine sold in Australia. A Toyota Camry in Texas should have the same lubrication needs as the identical Camry sold in Germany. But that isn't what happens. Not even close. Honda is the perfect example. In the United States, Honda manuals insist on 0-20 for almost everything. But the same engines in South America, Europe, Africa, Australia, and the Middle East are often told to use 5W30, and sometimes even 10W30 or 10W40, depending on temperature. Toyota, even more dramatic. In the US, Toyota pushed thin oils so aggressively that they even introduced 0W16. But in Australia, the same models allow 10W30. In the Middle East, 5W40 is completely normal. In Europe, seasonal viscosity changes are recommended, with many drivers switching to thicker oil during summer heat. Mazda, a US. Mazda 6 uses 0-20. The same engine in Mexico uses 5W30. Nissan, the Versa in the US runs 0-20, but in the Caribbean, the same model can use 20W50. These aren't rare exceptions. This is the norm, and it raises the question nobody can answer without confronting a very uncomfortable truth. If 0-20 is so perfect for modern engines, why doesn't the rest of the world want it? There is a reason, but it has nothing to do with what manufacturers publicly claim. This is where the story stops being about engineering and starts being about money, enormous amounts of it. In the United States, every car company must meet something called CAFE standards, which determine the average fuel economy for all vehicles it sells. If they miss the target, they pay penalties, massive ones. In 2024, the fine was set at $17 for every tenth of a mile per gallon they fall short for every vehicle sold. Over the years, those fines have stacked up to more than $1.1 billion. Manufacturers realized something early on. They couldn't redesign engines fast enough to hit the targets. They couldn't change combustion chemistry overnight. They couldn't magically make SUVs sip fuel like hybrids. So they took the one shortcut they could, thinner oil. A switch from 5W30 to 0W20 can improve fuel economy by roughly 2 to 3%. That may not sound like much, but over millions of vehicles, it's the difference between meeting regulations or paying hundreds of millions in penalties. That's why, starting around 2010, American manuals suddenly shifted to 0W20 across the board. Many manufacturers had never used it before. Some barely tested it outside controlled conditions, but the regulations were tightening, and the clock was ticking. Thin oil wasn't about helping engines last longer. It wasn't about reducing wear. It wasn't about protecting drivers. It was about protecting manufacturers from government penalties. And while thin oil does offer real benefits, its limitations become painfully clear once engines heat up. And that's where the story turns darker. To be fair, thin oils like 0W20 aren't completely useless. They offer genuine advantages. They flow extremely fast on cold starts. They reduce internal friction. They give small MPG improvements. They cut down emissions in lab testing. But here's the part nobody puts in the manual. Once temperatures rise beyond a certain threshold, 0W20 struggles, and modern engines spend far more time in extreme heat zones than you think. If you drive a turbocharged engine, if you own a GDI, gasoline direct injection, engine, if you live in a hot climate, if you sit in traffic with the AC blasting, if you tow or climb hills, your oil is routinely exposed to temperatures of 400 to 480 degrees Fahrenheit, particularly around the piston rings and cylinder walls. No full synthetic 0W20 can maintain a stable film thickness at that temperature range. It evaporates, it thins out, it breaks down, and once the oil loses its protective film, metal touches metal, and wear goes from slow and manageable to catastrophic. This is why many modern engines develop ring wear piston, scuffing oil consumption, premature bearing wear, low compression, rough idle excessive blow-by. And this is also why thicker oils like 5W30 and 5W40 continue to be used globally. At 250 degrees Fahrenheit and above, a 5W30 oil maintains 50% more film strength than 0W20. That's not a small difference. That's the difference between long-term protection and long-term damage. But the story gets even more complicated when you look at how engines are designed today. Manufacturers didn't just switch oils. They redesigned engines to rely on it. Modern engines have extremely tight machining tolerances, low-tension piston rings, diamond-like carbon coatings, ultra-thin bearing designs, smaller oil pumps optimized for low-viscosity fluids. All of this works beautifully when the engine is new, clean, cool, and operating under ideal conditions. Thin oil moves quickly, reaches tight spaces, and supports these new designs. But what happens at 50,000 miles? What about at 100,000 miles? What about after years of heat cycles, carbon buildup, or worn seals? That's when thin oil starts to lose the fight. The once perfect tolerance widens with age. The carbon buildup increases the temperature. The small oil pump struggles to maintain pressure. And the engine that once worked flawlessly on 0W20 now begins to show signs of stress. This is why older vehicles overseas often switch to thicker oil as they age. Manuals outside the U.S. openly state it. Manuals in the U.S. often omit it. And that brings us to the countries that never accepted America's thin oil trend in the first place. If you look at Europe, Asia, and the Middle East, one thing becomes obvious. These regions prioritize engine longevity over tiny fuel savings. Their climate, driving styles, and road conditions demand stronger protection. Europeans often travel at high speeds, especially on the Autobahn. Engines run hotter and longer. Thin oil simply can't hold up. Australians deal with extreme summer temperatures and long highway drives. The Middle East experiences some of the harshest heat on the planet. Some regions exceed 120 degrees Fahrenheit in the shade. Meanwhile, many Asian countries emphasize durability because cars are kept longer and smaller engines work harder in dense traffic. Most importantly, cars outside the U.S. are typically smaller and naturally more fuel efficient. They don't need paper-thin oil to pass government tests. That's why overseas manuals often recommend 5W35W, 40W, 4010W, 3010W, 40. Sometimes even 20W50 in extreme heat. Their recommendations are based on protection, not corporate penalties. But even knowing the right viscosity isn't enough. Not all oils labeled 5W30 behave the same way. This is where the hidden number returns. Most drivers think that 30 weight is 30 weight. Not even close. Two different 5W30 oils can have completely different values, meaning one can survive extreme heat while the other breaks down under load. For reference, a 20-weight oil typically has an HS around 2.6, a 30-weight might be 2.9, a 40-weight jumps to around 3.5. But here's the twist. Many manufacturers quietly design engines expecting a specific HS, even if the manual just says 0W20. The only way to know what your engine truly needs is through a used oil analysis, UOA. These tests reveal metal wear, fuel dilution, shear, temperature stress, and whether your oil choice is protecting the engine or slowly destroying it. I've seen engines that supposedly required 0W20 run dramatically better on 5W30 after the UOA revealed excessive heat shear. Wear metals dropped, oil lasted longer, consumption stopped. That's when you realize manuals don't always tell the full story. And that leads to the next question. If you switch oils, can you lose your warranty? Dealerships want you to believe one thing. If you don't use the exact oil we recommend, your warranty is gone. That isn't true. According to the Magnuson-Moss Warranty Act, manufacturers must prove that the part you used caused the failure. Simply switching from 0W20 to 5W30 is not grounds to void anything, especially when many manuals allow alternative viscosities in emergencies or different climates. Dealerships rarely mention this. They prefer you follow their exact instructions because it reduces their liability. But from a legal standpoint, you're protected. What voids warranties is not changing oil on time, having no receipts, severe sludge buildup ignoring maintenance intervals using 5W30 instead of 0W20, not even close to a warranty killer. Which brings us to the most important part of this entire video. What real mechanics actually do when choosing the right oil. Mechanics don't blindly follow the bottle. They don't rely on marketing. They definitely don't just accept the thinnest oil on the shelf because a manual from 2018 told them to. Here's how real experts choose oil. Step 1. Run a used oil analysis. It costs around $100, and it reveals the truth that the bottle cannot. It shows whether the oil breaks down too fast, whether metal wear is high, and whether your engine prefers a thicker or thinner viscosity. Step 2. Match oil to climate. In winter, thin oil makes sense. Fast flow equals fast protection. In summer, especially in hot climates or during towing, thicker oil is the safer choice. Step 3. Match oil to driving style. Mountain driving, heavy loads, long trips, and high RPMs demand stronger film strength. Step 4. Match oil to mileage. After 75,000 miles, tolerances naturally widen. Many engines benefit from 5W30 or even 5W40. But if your engine isn't burning oil and performance is excellent, there may be no need to change yet. This is exactly what experienced mechanics do behind the scenes, even if they never say it out loud. The truth is simple. The United States didn't choose 0W20 because it's better. It chose 0W20 because it's profitable. Other countries didn't reject it because they're behind the times. They rejected it because they value engine protection more than a tiny bump in fuel economy. Your car may very well run perfectly fine on 0W20, or it might run dramatically better and last dramatically longer on 5W30 or 5W40. The only way to know is to stop trusting the label and start trusting the data. And before you buy another bottle of oil, make sure it isn't one of the brands mechanics avoid at all costs. In the next video, I'll show you the oils that experts refuse to pour into their own engines, and the top oils that consistently deliver the best protection. Your engine's life may depend on it.